So TrailheaDX 2019 is over now. We're off having some fun in the street of San Francisco. We had a great time here.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was my first time here in TrailheaDX and also in San Francisco. Really good. I can't wait to go again.
So now we'll expose you to what we've learned and what we thought was really cool in TrailheaDX.
I think we need to start up. We're going to start about learning the components. So I think one of the things that they mentioned is that our component is still around, so we don't need to change anything about our components. They will still maintain our components, so we don't need to go and change everything to Lightning Web components. Of course, at some point, I'm pretty sure that our components will basically go. But yeah, the idea is just start working with Lightning Web components, start investigating and testing with new JavaScript standards and HTML technologies. What do you think?
Yeah, they made a lot of emphasis on Lightning Web components. All the sessions, well, most of the sessions were around that. And they were speaking about best practices and how to adapt Lightning Web components. So I think it's going to be really centric. I think it's the future of front-end development and front-end customization. It looks really powerful, but I think we need to investigate, research a lot in order to adapt to the new way, to the new JavaScript they're using. I think it's EC6.
Yeah.
6 plus.
Sorry?
6 plus.
E6.
6 plus because it can go up to 9, I think.
Okay, 6 plus, yeah, exactly. 6 and higher. And we went to a session called Modern JavaScript for Salesforce developers or something like that, where they provided a few tricks of modern JavaScript, and it's honestly things I've had never used before.
Yeah, we need to for sure.
Yeah.
About the last JavaScript standards and releases.
Yeah, we need to start getting experience on that. And we also went to a few sessions where they provided best practices. I think you went to one that was called How Salesforce Builds Lightning Web Components.
Yeah, they mentioned there that the reason why they build all these Lightning Web components because they use the last standards. The thing with Aura is that they were using like an old framework, so there were some issues with compatibility between browsers and some components. So they are using the last standards in Lightning Web components to assure that everything works fine for different browsers, and it will work in the future. But yeah.
I think standard is a key word here because that's where they want to go. They're using now HTML and JavaScript files as opposed to Aura, where they were using CMP files, for example. That's one of the things they mentioned. Going standard is better for everyone. Oh, and also the new feature about Lightning Web components.
Yeah, exactly. Basically, one of the big features they mentioned that in the main keynote is that now you can use Lightning Web components locally. So you basically can go at your local host, your browser, and start testing your Lightning Web components. So it's really good. You can start working offline. Of course, if you are offline, you don't be able to connect to Salesforce for your data, but you can start working in the JavaScript, in the HTML, and CSS styles, etc.
Yeah.
So it's really good. It's really powerful, and also it's open source, right?
It's now open source, so you can contribute to the framework. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, we are going to share some really good GitHub links. So it's open source. You can check the code. You can contribute in GitHub, and there are also really good links in GitHub related to testing. There are good plugins of solutions framework to be able to test in Lightning Web components. So it's really powerful.
Yeah, that's the gist of it.
MuleSoft, guys.
MuleSoft.
There was a lot about MuleSoft at TrailheaDX. I think MuleSoft was everywhere.
It was everywhere.
Pretty much every demo there was.
Yeah.
A third maybe of the show floor was MuleSoft.
Yeah.
On the second floor.
Sessions as well. There were a lot of sessions on
about
MuleSoft.
MuleSoft.
Repeated themselves a bit, but
Yeah. So we didn't learn much new things about MuleSoft.
I did because I knew basically
Yeah,
nothing about MuleSoft.
no new features were announced.
Oh,
nothing
no.
new. But we've seen a lot of demos and everything.
Yeah.
Basically, it's awesome.
Yeah. Also,
We did see a demo where MuleSoft, like there was an onboard application to do IoT with MuleSoft. So you put it on a Raspberry Pi and then connected to MuleSoft endpoint to share data and then integrate that with Salesforce and then with a mobile app. So that was new to me. I didn't know that we could do that. That's still more IoT than integration.
yeah.
The demo that we've seen, the way MuleSoft works, is really interesting by creating multiple layers of API.
API, yeah.
So you've got your service API, and then you've got the experience API.
Yeah, and then you can reuse those APIs. Even if you're connected to an API, you need to do an API so that it's exposed later on there. And the way to create the APIs is super cool. You can do it in 2 minutes with one click. Even if you just return just hard-coded data to test. That was pretty good.
And it got mock services, like you can do the signature of an API and then state it to release it already, and it's going to return mock data, and it's going to do the documentation also by itself, providing details about the parameter that it needs to receive. So documentation's all done. It's really cool.
And you can also code in order to further customize MuleSoft, which is something I didn't know about. You can run on-premise, on the cloud.
Blockchain feature not yet released by Salesforce. They demoed it. They explained it.
in the keynote.
They announced it in the keynote. Pretty big announcements. While the use cases are still not that evident. Is that what we're saying?
Yeah. It's a standard for that they are planning to use more in the future, along with other companies, because they need other nodes that will connect and share the blockchain, so to speak.
So basically, the blockchain is different than cryptocurrency. So, cryptocurrency use blockchain, but Salesforce blockchain implementation. Well, it's not Salesforce implementation. That's the first thing you don't understand. It's
That implemented the definition of blockchain, basically.
Yeah, but it's a consortium of multiple companies that together define the standard. This is all an Apache project or something related to Apache, where it's an open source implementation of the blockchain. So a lot of companies are on board and following along, and that's really important in the process. Because basically what it's going to do is decentralizing a database. So every node will have a copy of the database, transaction based, and everybody going to clone each other. So if Salesforce is connecting to one of those and updating it, the other will have it, but you don't have to use Salesforce necessarily to connect and read data and push data. So Salesforce is just the UI and UX of one part, value creation of blockchain.
Yeah, and the idea of blockchain is just bring this security and this confidence,
Trust,
trust and to share data between different nodes, and create this big distributed network. So that you can share the information and work all that information.
Yeah. They did mention that alpha version, I don't know how to call it, re-release, coming in winter 20, so December.
And what it would allow you to do is create a definition of an object and have a few validation rules and everything, and then you'll be able to bind it to I think it's called blockchain flow, but you can bind those blockchain flow to Salesforce, dashboard because it's going to be exposed as external object in Salesforce, so you can automate something. So you will have, let's say, a transaction object that fires something to Salesforce that push another transaction or push another object into that same blockchain. But you need to keep in mind that those actions will be only within Salesforce, not within the other organization. Yeah. One use case maybe to expose so that people understand the usage of blockchain that got me rethinking is if you a guy that sells used car or first class used car, premium used car, he will want to ensure to his client that all the pieces that has been put in the car beforehand are manufacturer made and not third party. So we want the relation of trust to be followed along, because I could buy you a used car and tell me, yeah, it's only first party. How will I know that's true? Yeah. So if everybody on board in the consortium was using the blockchain, then there will be a transaction showing me the piece that has been put in that car at that given time was the piece with a given code that matched that. So everybody could see the whole transaction flow. And then also I could see certification that this mechanics had or whatsoever if everything is using the same database. So guys, what were your highlights of the show?
Mine?
Yeah, yours.
My highlight. You didn't specify. Well, actually, I really like this session about advanced Apex testing. And they actually provided really good tips about mocking. Because generally,
stuff, right?
yeah, stuff. And generally we do mocks for HTTP requests because they wanted to test the callouts. But they show, I'm not sure if it's a test on a class or a interface that you...
It's a kind of a method that you call the stubbing thing, like the stubbing thing.
Yeah, but you basically use it to fake execution of methods on classes. And that's super interesting. That's something that we should really look into. Yeah. So I will look for the link to the documentation and pass it to the team. So because everyone should be able to read it and understand it.
And the main goal here is to make unit tests go faster and you just test what you need to test and not everything else.
Exactly. One of the examples we provided was the, how did he call it? The test that works today, Cinderella testing.
Oh yeah, Cinderella testing.
Yeah. A test that worked up until midnight, but not the next day. So stop, like a classic example is a method that will just return today's state and do different things, like depending on the day that it returns. Let's say if you want to do something different per month, if you have 12 use cases, one per month, you will use this to fake the date that is returning. You will return a date for January, a date for February, a date for March. So you will test all your test cases using the stop method. It will be pretty fast. That's one of the things to talk about.
I went to a couple of sessions related to VS Code. So it seems like Salesforce is basically trying to push VS Code.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, we didn't see developer console at the World Conference. We saw VS Code everywhere.
Yeah. So basically, they want us to start using a lot of VS Code, like the new idea to develop. So I saw like a couple of plugins, very interesting, regarding also related to testing, Apex testing.
Yeah.
So yeah, they mentioned like reply test.
Replay debugger.
Replay debugger.
Basically, it does the same as Welcome.
Yeah, it's basically the same as Welcome, but with VS Code. So it's really, you can just pull your breakpoints and the code will stop when you execute your actions. So it's pretty good. You can see all the values of the variables, etc. So it's really nice. We should definitely try that. And also I saw like, maybe some of you already tested VS Code. But there is a package that contains like a lot of plugins.
Yeah, we have that link as well.
Yeah, like to autocomplete, do the testing, etc.
We will share that with the team as well.
Yeah.
There was a plugin as well for Salesforce Landing Design System.
For TrailheaDX within VS Code?
Yeah,
That's cool.
it's pretty cool because it just, I think you were in the session, or was it you? Was you? Yeah, you just replace everything, and it's super clean the way you do it. You just right click on something and replace something, and it replaces everywhere.
Yeah,
So
with
super
tokenized stuff, like it will detect that you are using like font size medium and says use that token instead.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. One thing that also struck me, they were really pushing CTA. There was a lot of talk about being a technical architect, so I feel like we're going to see much more CTA going through the review board process. That was pretty interesting, and also for some reason it was all Mac, like only Mac available. Even in the workshop where you need to code or actually get on a computer, you could not bring your own laptop.
Yeah.
You had to use the Mac that they provide. I did ask one guy there, how come? And he said, well, Salesforce employee can use whichever device they want. They don't care. Even for mobile, they can use Android, they can use iPhone. But for that even, they most likely got sponsored. There was also the Apple Challenge, which I was featured on Salesforce Twitter. So there was a relationship with Apple there.
Yeah. They were also using TrailheaDX everywhere, without even talking about it.
Yeah.
They use it as if it's a new standard. Every example that they provided, basically, they were using TrailheaDX, and they were pushing a lot of DevOps and continuous integration stuff with TrailheaDX.
Yeah.
So they were basing that CI through TrailheaDX and Git.
Well, the fact that VS Code use SFDX in backend make it so that SFDX everywhere.
Yeah.
And SFDX also, the Visual Studio Code now can connect straight to a sandbox, let's say, and you can play around with the sandbox as we do with any other IDE. So you get pretty efficient.
Indeed.
And also I went to a couple of sessions related to technical architects. So yeah, they have these like motivational sessions. So yeah, they seem like they want to work on the technical architect certifications.
And there's also now the new mascot that is a technical architect, the elephant.
Oh, it's a technical architect?
Yeah, it's the push to technical architecture.
Oh, that's great.
So we had a really great time here in San Francisco at TrailheaDX. Thanks to Salesforce and thanks to Nubik for sending us here. Learned a lot.
Yeah, we learned a lot. Lots of emphasis, like we already said, on Lightning components,
Lightning
web components.
Yeah. Blockchain.
The announcement of blockchain for Winter 20. New stuff everywhere.
Yeah.
And Visual Studio Code.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we had a great time. Lots of great sessions. And great team to share with.